welcome to Jim Totino Field at Totino-Grace High School for Northwest Suburban Conference Boys Lacrosse. Tonight it is Osseo-Park Center paying a visit here to the Grace Eagles. Hi, I'm Jay Wilcox along with Dan Ficken. And Dan, tough seasons for these teams, particularly for Totino-Grace. So one win coming in. Their program has a little bit of a tough situation, and their former coach Justin Hoban actually resigned a couple years back, but they've had trouble finding new coaches, so he's kind of back helping to run things. They're struggling a little bit right now, a lot of youth on their team, and just trying to get something going a little bit here this evening.
It's unusual. This has been a strong program for many, many years. In fact, this is a heck of a rivalry going back a lot of years. And they're having a little trouble. They have a lot of first-year players, people that haven't played a lot of lacrosse, and they're kind of rebuilding right now. And it's a little bit sad to see, but you know what? It's like we talked about. It happens sometimes in these programs. It takes some rebuilding. And so maybe you're not on top for a few years. You rebuild and fight back.
Osseo-Park Center coming in with a 3-5 record and a couple of other close losses. They're a team with some youth as well, not playing a lot of older guys, and both teams have had some injury issues. OPC, though, I think is a team that's closer to where they want to be. They feel like by the end of this year and even into next that they should be, once again, a pretty strong club.
Yeah, Coach Nelson was really optimistic. He's starting 3 sophomores and a freshman right now, which is very unusual for a varsity squad. And so they're kind of building, too. They're doing a pretty good job, though. They're playing pretty good defense right now. They got a first-year goalie again, and they'll keep him for next year, too, so he'll be coming back. So optimism for finishing out this year, and then for next year, obviously. Their schedule is very open to getting a winning program back.
They've had some games where they've had just some little mistakes here and there, and that's the thing. One of the things they want to shore up, just thought-wise and getting to used to playing together as a team, and they feel like they shore those things up, and that 3-5 could become a much better record.
Well, they definitely have a chance to get 3 more wins right now, looking at their schedule. Now, unfortunately, they got to play Robbinsdale, Armstrong, and they still got Anoka to play. But if they can build on that, get better with these other things, and maybe give a run to Armstrong, who wouldn't be expecting them, or to Anoka, who wouldn't be expecting them. The other part of this, too, is you always play to the second season, your sections. If you can get better by that time and maybe make a little run in the sections, boy, that makes your season seem a whole lot better. And this is a good start for them. Osseo-Park Center needs this game pretty badly.
Yeah, this is one they definitely can come in as the favorite on paper here tonight. A little bit of rain falling here, and we're obviously playing on a grass field as well. So we're hoping that the conditions are going to still be pretty good for lacrosse here this evening. As Dan said, a pretty good rivalry going back. It's 8-8 over the years as Grace and Osseo-Park Center have battled. Stay tuned. We'll have the start of tonight's contest here on CCX Sports in just a moment.
I rescued Toast from a shelter in 2011. I love Toast because she's a lazy diva. Toast does whatever she wants, obviously. She's sleeping right now. She's an epic snuggler. She's so comforting. She's so loving. Toast makes me laugh. When I walked into the shelter, I knew right then that she was special.
Welcome back here to Totino-Grace High School as we get set to begin tonight's contest here, and obviously the first and only regular season meeting between these two clubs this year. Osseo-Park Center and the visiting Orange, kind of we've become very accustomed to it in lacrosse over the years, but kind of a mixture of the Osseo and Park Center colors and made into all their one. Most of the program, most of the kids are Osseo people, but they've right from the beginning gone Osseo-Park Center, and a good way to do it, I think, to keep that in line as it is. There is a look at Chris Thomas, the sophomore goalie for Totino-Grace. Obviously, he's been facing quite a few shots. They've given up a lot of goals this year, and a team with not a ton of varsity experience at all, and then not a lot of depth right now in their program as well, but and do their best to see if he can't steal a few. They did get one win over Coon Rapids this year, 14-8. And there is Ben Peterson. We had a chance to talk to Coach Nelson about him. He's kind of just switched to goalie. He's had a little bit of lacrosse background, but hadn't been a goalie until fairly recently. And he's had some growing pains, but at the same time, they feel like he's been able to do some good things, get some good stops. He had a little trouble with clearing. Has been his biggest issue.
But it's been the first goalie in a long time that he's had a over 50% save percentage.
And there's a look at Darren Nelson, and he's been around this rivalry for a long time and worked with, and that's the thing. There are some ebbs and flows in high school programs, and right now they're a little bit young, but he's obviously a coach who's done a lot of good things with their program. I know your son Kyle back in the day played in the OPC program. And so look at Justin Hoban, who is, as we talked about, a little bit of an unusual situation in that he really stepped down from this coaching in the program. He got a family with some young kids and was going to help out a little bit, and he's kind of had to take a bigger role back. And Joe Rodriguez is listed as their official head coach, but not a lot of lacrosse background with him, so they're kind of working together to get things going as they can.
Yeah. Well, Justin's had a lot of success here at Totino-Grace, and it's good he still has hands in the program. I understand family stuff, but if anybody can start turning this around along with a coach, he can do it, and I got a lot of confidence in him. He's a good coach.
Eagles ball here as Brandon Cole is controlling as they get things set up here. Always nice to get a little bit of possession time early on. Obviously you ultimately hope to get a goal out of it, but you like to get some touches, to get some movement, and just establish some things offensively, and that's why winning that opening faceoff is a big deal. And shot going wide here from Colas.
When you look at the numbers, Osseo-Park Center's had a real good year faceoff-wise. They're winning it at a 62% rate, and for the Grace to get the ball right off the bat, that's a bonus for them.
Back out top, it comes to Ben Schneider. Fends off a defender there and then misfires with the pass, and it will be OPC taking over possession. They're coming off a 17-5 win over Rocori, a non-conference game on Friday. And run into as he came up the left side there was Damian Lingassen, one of the top players for the OPC, but he gets it back here. And will fire the shot, and Thomas able to make a stop.
Okay. I realize Lingassen's the leading scorer on the team, but I'm sure that made Coach Nelson a little unhappy that he took a shot that far out.
Thomas coming way out and drops it off here to Ryan Tigner. Tigner flips the pass over, but then they can't make that final connection there as Schneider then had his shot attempt snuffed.
We go with the ground ball wars. It's a very important element of the game right now. And right now, Osseo-Park Center's done very well with ground balls this year. They've captured over 20.25 per game.
Ryan Tigner turned and fired, but missed the net. So Grace done a solid job in the early going here of possessing anyway.
Oh my!
Here's Campion coming to the front, and he missed the net with that one. It will stay with Totino-Grace though.
Did a really nice dodge there, Jay. Really left the Osseo defender just helpless, just flat-footed, went right around him. Guy came in and got a good shot on net.
Darby Jones flicking it over now to Campion. And they'll bring it back out top here as Leo Lewis going to the attack here for Grace. Interesting that Grace was very late arriving to the stadium, but they've been the team that's come out strong early. Oh, and that one might have hit the goalpost there as they tried to sneak it past Nelson. Campion was right in close. Osseo-Park Center was here and had more warm-up time and everything, but they're the one who come out a little bit slow.
Oh, they're really flat right now. Their defense has really been porous, just extremely porous.
Chris Kiras carrying it, flicks it ahead. He dropped that pass back, and here's the shot fired, but Thomas able to make a nice save on Caleb Love.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy. Osseo-Park Center just really quick to turn the trigger here and not really working on any possession time whatsoever or trying to get into a flow of the offense, and it's costing him right now. The goalie's making the save. He's not letting that stuff from outside get by him by any means.
Drop back here to Lewis, and around left side, Spencer Kretsch, and they work it behind the net. Eagles connecting on a lot of passes early, and that builds your confidence a little bit too. You just get into that flow. And there's a shot and a goal put away by Leo Lewis, and the Eagles will strike first here, 3:42 in.
Well, we saw Leo Lewis in the previous possession, Jay, come down the right-hand side, stay right-handed, and try to create a shot. He couldn't get it off. This time he changes directions and switches hands. Watch here, go right, switches hands to the left hand, and by gosh, he shoots one. He went high-low on it, and it got by Peterson to give the Eagles a well-deserved 1-0 lead. They've outplayed OPC right now handily, right down to the end here.
So they had a couple of shot attempts that were errant, one very near miss, and then that one finding a goal as he snuck it between the legs of Peterson.
An unusual thing here, too, Jay, is the fact that, he came in, got in really tight on his own. I don't know where the second D was. Usually there's a slide coming to prevent that from happening, but, boy, OPC's really playing pretty sloppy right now.
Ben Schneider drops it back here to Brandon Colas for Grace. To Darby Jones, a freshman, now swings it around to Campion. He lost it, though. And winning that ground ball was Campion. Briefly lost it, but they'll work it back out high now to Schneider. Swinging it around to Colas. Here's Schneider firing. Oh, and a nice stop there by Nelson.
Boy, there was some velocity on that shot. It came bouncing off that basket really hard. Big rebound.
Eagles again setting up and going to the attack here as Colas bouncing one up high. Campion comes down with it, puts it right out front, batted just wide of the net there by Tinas. And it will be OPC ball here as they have been back on their heels in the early going here. And to look at this, it was kind of an unorthodox little thing here, and then just trying to flick it quickly with Tinas there, but not able to put it away. And OPC coming to the attack. And that shot deflected over the goal by Thomas. Recovered here by Griffin Garrity for OPC, and he goes over to McGuire Hodala.
Carter Compton with a nice move on the inside there, got a shot off. That went over the net, and OPC loses the ball. Wow.
Eagles looking to come up the right side. Corbin Halverson able to get control again.
Boy, nice clean clear there for the Grace Eagles. By gosh, started out with a long pole, the goalie up to another long pole, makes a move, and then gets it out with the midfielder.
Well, I know it's super early in the game here, Dan, but they're looking better than maybe what the stats look like on them, at least coming in.
Absolutely. They're playing with confidence. I like what you said earlier. They got the ball right away, and they gave them some confidence. We got a push from behind by the Eagles there, so.
Nelson able to connect with that long pass up the left side here. Osseo-Park Center has been kind of impatient so far in the early going, and I'm sure they're looking to, to quickly tie this thing up, but right now it hasn't been working, and they don't connect on that pass.
Well, it certainly doesn't look like a team that's got 3 wins by any means of the imagination. They're sloppy. They're not focused. They're really making some really young mistakes, I guess, if I want to reiterate Coach Nelson's words.
Lewis able to maintain possession up that left side. And a nice save on that high shot as Nelson denies Spencer Kretsch. And that pass deflected is coming in to meet it was Kieran Mueller there for Grace. It was a little telegraphed and now picked up here by Kretsch. Dropping it off here to Darby Jones. Being pursued by Jason Comstock. And back out high they'll come to Tina's for Totino-Grace. 4:40 to go, first quarter. Eagles leading at 1-0 here on their home field. Spinning to the middle, and that shot rings off the goalpost as Ryan Tigner trying to sneak it up high past Nelson. Instead, hits the pipe. We could hear the little sound up here.
You can see it there. Just a good move. Just Coach Holman was talking earlier, for the Grace that, their dodges weren't very good this year, and they weren't full, but they sure look pretty good tonight so far. They tend to be beating the OPCD at least 6 times out of 7 here so far.
Tina's forced to the outside. The one thing for the Eagles right now, though, is they probably are feeling like we should, for as much as we've controlled the ball, we really ought to have more than one goal here at this point.
Oh, my. Daniel Teen is actually turned around and punched number 13, Damian Langeson, for OPC here. That might be a bit of a lengthy stay and kneel down by the bench here.
Officials double checking to make sure they are on the same page here.
Yeah, 2 flags came out right away. So we'll see what the call is, but boy, that was pretty blatant. Okay, it's a 2-minute unreleasable. So OPC can score as many goals as they want to, and Totino-Grace over the next 2 minutes will be down a man.
So Tinas takes a knee here for a couple of minutes, and this could be the break that OPC needed to get back the momentum going their way and maybe get a goal or two.
Well, just regain some discipline, Jay. Just move it around, get some flow going. Don't settle for a shot from about 30 feet out.
Carter Compton controlling it here for Osseo-Park Center. Back to Lingasson, they'll swing it left side. He takes the return here.
Oh.
And there's a shot fired wide. It will stay with Osseo-Park Center.
Watch 13 and 8 there. They get after each other, slash there, and then bang, the fist comes up and hits him in the side of the head. Actually, that's a penalty.
Chris Kuras lost possession, but they get it back. Now he swings it around, looking for a little give and go. That one didn't quite click, and then the next attempt sails wide of the mark from Carter Compton.
Wow. One of the things you do here with a man up, Jay, is you try to move it in as close as you can. Stay inside the box. Move it in closer and closer. Don't settle for the outside shot like that.
There you go.
Right there.
Lingasson able to put it away there for OPC. And they are on the board for the first time here. 3:20 to go here in this first quarter.
We see a nice play. Look at it. Just a nice pass right there as Lingasson comes out front, stays out of the crease. He's in there just dead center. No D on either side, or both D's on either side of him, and the goalie just helpless there. Leading scorer there for OPC.
Caleb Love gets the assist on that one. His 20th goal of the year. Keep in mind, Tina's still out here for the Eagles. As Dan said, they can score multiple here, unreleasable. Ground ball scooped up nicely here for the Eagles. The shot attempt going wide from Schneider. And it will be Osseo-Park Center ball.
Boy, they wasted a lot of time getting back there to get the ball. All right. What they need right now, Jay, what OPC needs to do right now, just get it in and move it around. Don't worry about getting a shot right away. Get it in there and start working it close. Try to work for an in-close shot like they got the last time. Once they do that, easy peasy. But taking these outside shots from 20 to 30 feet out, just give the goalie a gift, please.
Return pass there was pressured, but Lingassen able to get away and get some room. And there's another long attempt that will not hit the net. You know, and I agree with you that it wouldn't be a good play no matter what, but they're not hitting the net either, and that just compounds it.
Even worse.
Back to the top. Lingassen not able to put that one on. And
now here's a funny thing, you know, now the 2-minute penalty's up now, so, you know, they've wasted a lot of time with shots like that, and they're just not moving the ball inside and out like they should be right now.
2:15 to go first quarter. A slip, but getting back up is Caleb Love. Curis surveying the scene, trying to get something started here. Curis getting a step, then briefly lost it, gets it back though, and now Compton. Compton unable to keep possession there, and the long stick there of Luke Halstead up with it for TG. And he skids down, but a flag flies.
So Mr. Compton just got himself a 30-second penalty for pushing from behind with possession right now, putting the OPC down again.
Right.
It's going to come
He's
up here in
okay
just a
up
minute.
until there, and then
right there.
Yeah. And Totino-Grace is going to call a timeout here with 1:33 to go here in this first quarter, and a tie score, 1-1, maybe somewhat surprisingly, as the Eagles have kind of taken their lumps this season and of late, but at the same time coming out with a pretty spirited performance here on this. You know, I'm sure they look at it too as, okay, this is a game that we have a definite shot to win too. I mean, Osseo-Park Center, younger club, haven't been, you know, lighting it up, knocking people out of the water left and right either this season.
Yeah, the same Maple Grove. You know, this isn't Anoka right now. You know, two teams that, you know, are state rated right now. So, yeah, and I tell you what, Jay, the more you let them get into their game, the more confidence they're going to play with, and all of a sudden you put in their head, hey, we could win this thing. And a team that's got an idea like that is going to be very tough to beat. And they've done some very good things here, and you can see Coach Holman just making sure. Very calm, working it. They've done the right things. They moved the ball around. And frankly, for as much as their turnovers have been an issue this year, they have not turned the ball over a whole lot in this first half, or this first quarter. So they've done a really good job. They've gotten into an offensive flow, gotten some pretty good shots, really, from where they're at, and have done a good job. And right now, as you said earlier, they're the better team right now. There's no doubt about it.
Got to look at some of the cloud formations here tonight. There's talk of some thunderstorms, but it seemed as though it was going to hold off until, you know, probably after game time. But we did have some sprinkles during the pregame, and we'll see how that impacts the game, if any, here tonight. Hopefully not. Obviously, a little bit of an adjustment for the OPC guys to be playing, you know, not on the turf that they are used to, but again, there are quite a few schools in the Northwest Suburban that do still play on grass, and it's different. There's no doubt. There's you know, ground balls in particular, I would think is where there's an issue.
Well, definitely, and turf makes for a truer bounce and stuff like that. But you know, that's not an excuse, Jim. I mean, you know, there's plenty of teams here in the conference that have grass fields. These guys should be pretty much used to it.
Getting sandwiched there was Love. Battle for it again here. Eagles had it briefly. And finally up with it out of the pack there comes Kobe Tim.
1 minute remaining in the quarter.
We go under a minute to play in the first as Tim being pursued, looking to set something up from behind goal here. Back out Lingassen now taking it here for Osseo-Park Center. Looks like they maybe want to
Yeah, they're going to
ideally go for one, set
Yeah.
something up that would happen with under 10 seconds to go.
Hey, talk, D, talk! Talk!
Good. I like the defensive midi up high, taking him out of his game. There you go. Just disrupted his whole flow. Now he's got to get it back in here real quick.
Gosson flicks the pass over. Down to 5 seconds, and the shot sailing wide from Kobe Tim. Osseo-Park Center, 3.8 to go. They're going to have to hurry if they want to get a chance here late. Ball knocked free, and the quarter is going to come to an end. And so we have put one in the books here at Jim Totino Field. Really nice quarter for the home team, the Grace Eagles. Our score at the end of 1, Osseo-Park Center 1, Totino-Grace 1. We will have more lacrosse here on CCX Sports.
Start a story. Adopt at theshelterpetproject.org.
Every time I hear the alarm bell go off in school, I think it's an air raid.
A lot of houses in our neighborhood have been destroyed. I like to close my ears and sing songs whenever the bombs come close.
I'm worried our new neighbors won't like us.
But I know it's all gonna be worth it. I just want my family to be safe. But these are not my words.
These are not my words.
These are not my words.
We'll get the crowd on hand here tonight. As spring nights go, not so bad. A little bit of rain, but not like the sub-freezing temperatures we had one day about a week ago. And so hoping to get this one in under mostly good conditions here this evening. Well, maybe a surprising first quarter a little bit, Dan. Totino-Grace came out, and although the score's even, I think they definitely outplayed Osseo-Park Center in that first quarter.
There was no luck involved in this, Jay. They played better. They were definitely the better team. The way they moved the ball, they played disciplined offense, played pretty good defense. Kept OPC outside all the time. Did a nice job. The other thing too, face-offs. It's got to be about dead even with face-offs, which is unusual. Because OPC's won most of theirs throughout the year, so Coach Holman's got to be very pleased by that.
And this time it is Osseo-Park Center coming away with it as Curis. He will drop it back here for Compton.
I wondered how long before Chris Curis was there. He's won 44 face-offs here throughout the season. He's done a really good job. He's won, over 60% of his.
Compton gets to the front, but just missed. And it will be Osseo-Park Center ball as we get a call going against Grace there.
There's a push away from the ball. Wow, you don't see that call very often.
Caleb Love possessing here for Osseo-Park Center. He had an assist on their first goal and knocked away from him, though. Nice job back there defensively by Brady Bertram for Totino.
Yeah, he did a really nice job. Real lackadaisical effort by OPC, and Bertram said, okay, fine, you want to be that way, I'll just take it away from you, and he did. And look at this Bray. He's just doing a great clear job here. See, Jay, and then there's the difference between two teams. They didn't rush it. They took the time. Now they're setting up their offense and working and trying to get closer inside.
Pass back, got away from Campion, but he's going to track it down. And he finds Brandon Colas. Well, he didn't quite handle it cleanly either, but he's able to get to it. A little bit more of a position defense and less attacking defense for OPC. There's a shot. Nelson, though, able to stop it. Colas kind of put that one right into his body there.
Yeah. Kind of gave him an overhead shot, but it was really nice. He had plenty of room, Jay, to really let that shot go. The D had not come, and slid over to take him, so he had pretty much an open shot. Yeah, nice move. Now, see how open he is? He could really wind up and let her rip.
Osseo-Park Center, another unforced turnover here, giving the ball back to Totino-Grace. Tigner swings it behind now to Darby Jones. And now it's their turn to have a little bit of a sloppy turnover, and Osseo-Park Center will get it back here.
Well, there haven't been many of them, though, for the Eagles. That's got to be one of, I think, maybe about 3 that they've really unforced errors, but yeah, they've done a good job with that.
Compton trying to get a step here, spins and fires, and he scores. Compton able to bounce it home. Kind of just a one-on-one there, and not a lot of movement offensively, but he was able to get the job done and bounce that shot past Thomas, and Osseo-Park Center will take the lead.
He's got 11th goal here, makes a nice dodge, gets one kind of in the mush, and then lets one go with his right hand. Good hand switch there, and really short shot. I think it caught the goalie by surprise there, Jay, especially with a high-low situation.
So a 2-1 lead here for Osseo-Park Center. I think with, as many young guys they have playing too, it wasn't a great first quarter for them. There's no doubt about it. But, now is not the time to panic. It's the time to kind of dig in and go to work. And that's what they're hoping will maybe transpire after that goal. Curas was knocked down, and a penalty here on Totino-Grace.
Well, it was nice to get a lucky one. A couple things happened there that made that ball go in, and it was a quick short shot coming off a kind of a spinorama, and it caught the goalie by surprise.
Langasson trying to get some room, and he fires and scores. So Thomas was stopping a lot of those in the first quarter, but now this one will get past him, and quickly 2 goals in a row here for OPC. 25 seconds apart, and they go up by a 3-1 score.
Well, they're doing the one thing that you made note of in the first quarter too, Jay. They're hitting the net. They're not missing the net now. Good move by Langasson. Nice hand switch there, and just really got all of his hands in it and really ripped it nice across his body. Did a nice job.
Kind of looks like maybe they've, either from the coaches or discussing among themselves too, that maybe we want to go low a little bit more on Thomas than what what they had been in that first quarter.
It's really tough as a goalie to get that basket, because you're holding it up by your shoulders to get it all the way down to your feet. And that's why you try to teach goalies to use your body to slide across too, in case your basket doesn't get across your body, or your knees can make a stop.
So Osseo-Park Center, some momentum going now, and they're trying to keep the throttle down and get on back on the attack here. Griffin Garrity getting started here, and they misfire on the pass, but nice job by Langasson to win that ball back. Cuts it to the front, and he will fire and score, and this time over the shoulder of Thomas, as he already has the hat trick here, and we're not even to the midpoint of the second quarter. That was a minute after his last goal, and he puts his third on the board, and things have turned in a hurry here, Dan. We were just praising Grace for what a good first quarter they played.
Yeah, they did. Langasson here, though, obviously he's got a good shot, good velocity, and he's hitting the net. Once they figured out to hit the net, they started going in. Now, will that work against Anoka or Robbinsdale Armstrong? I don't know. But it finally got them off the schneid, so to speak, and they've put up 3 unanswered now. Actually, 4 unanswered now. I think about it. Yeah, Grace scored first.
Yeah, 3 in this quarter, and after getting one late in the first. Flag flies there as tripped up was Curas.
Looks like he's already got tripped up, and we'll have a 30-second penalty on Totino for tripping.
Martinez picks this up. He had that 2-minute penalty earlier on that led to Osseo-Park Center's first goal. So OPC back to the attack here.
Now we'll see if with this man-up advantage of how they try to work it inside here.
Gosson firing. Oh, and there's Thomas able to deny Caleb Love on that one.
You know, and here's the deal too, Jay. We were talking about going high-low and kind of bouncing shots. That one went straight at it and easy to get the basket on it. Yeah, at this point, with being a man up, you've got to, you know, go after the guy. Two of them, get two people on that ball. But the penalty's over now.
Eagles wanting to get a little possession time, just kind of stem the tide a little bit here, if nothing else. You know, you want to get into your offense, but you want to get yourselves settled down first of all here. Whoops.
Yep.
Waited a little bit too long here, it looks like. No, we're going to have an offside call against OPC.
Interesting. I didn't see that. That's a costly one. Those are just little mistakes that'll really hurt you. So there you go, man down again. Now we'll see if they possess the ball. You know, right now as a coach, you got the ball in the attack zone, keep it there. Oh, Osseo-Park Center was offside.
Yes.
I thought he said white.
So the Eagles could really use one here to get back the little momentum on their side. After a good first quarter, they've fallen behind 4-1.
I like the ball moving here. They're being very disciplined and moving it around. They got to start tightening up that box, though, instead of getting in a little closer, a little closer.
Tigner cut off as he looked to move toward the middle there, and now his pass denied, but he gets it back. Good help defense here by Osseo-Park Center. They've tightened up considerably after allowing a lot of free space in that first quarter.
Another forced error here, went out of bounds. Ball going over the top of the head because of defensive pressure. You know, I also showed the importance, too, of being able to switch hands. He could not switch hands here. He had to stay on his left hand. He couldn't bring it back over to the right, so the defense read that and got that stick in the way right at the right spot.
Pass ahead here to Kobe Tim. Compton looking to get a step around his defender. Unable to get away there from Leo Lewis. Swing the pass over to Garrity. Garrity looking out front, quite a bit of traffic. Now is able to swing it over to Compton. Compton from a tough angle, able to put it away. Had no defender in his way, although he didn't have a great angle, but he was able to sneak it through the legs of Thomas, it looked like right there. As they did a good job of being a little more patient than what they'd been earlier, and he's able to convert.
Wow, when you leave him alone like that, I mean, the big difference here is that, you know, there was no D on him. He could really wind up, pick his spot, and really rip it. And the goalie's just all by himself here. I mean, look at this. He's wide open. Why not take a shot and go down? And then he bounced it too, Jay. He went low on it. And that makes all the difference. Takes the basket out of play.
I wonder if you get a little bit, I may be reading too much into this, but you get a little, as the game goes on, you get a better feel for how you can bounce shots on this kind of uneven grass field too. And it seems as though they've gotten a little more confident in that, and, you know, knowing what they can expect and trying to beat him with a shot that bounces like that. Curis again does his job, wins that draw, gives it over to Compton here. 5-1 OPC lead, and they're looking for more. Compton goes to the net. This time a nice save there by Thomas. Second try denied as well as Anders Coombs took it. And the Eagles looking to counterattack here, and they work it up to Tigner. Tigner looking to get to the middle. Drops the pass off. Campy, a nice move, but then denied. Took a little bit too much time winding up there, it looked like.
Yeah, defense got their stick in there and got it on the hands. Stopped the shot from coming.
And that pass flicked over the top too high there for the Eagles, and they'll turn it over.
That's just a timing issue. He just waited a little too long to get that pass off, and he telegraphed it, gave him the long pole enough time to just get a little bit of a stick on it and forcing it to go over the head of the X-Man in the Eagles' offense, and out of bounds it went.
They'll drop it back to Nelson. Pass deflected. It'll stay with Osseo-Park Center, but a good job at least to disrupt that one a little bit. We have a timeout taken here. 3:34 to go here in this second quarter. And a 5-1 lead now for Osseo-Park Center. They've scored the only 4 goals here of the second after a 1-1 tie through the first. They have what's led to this for the most part, Dan? What would you say has been their biggest key here to turn things around second quarter?
Well, 2 things. Number 1, they're hitting the net, okay, whereas they didn't before. Their shots are maybe a little closer, but not by much. But they're hitting the net. Number 2, defense for Totino-Grace. Little different this period. They're not sliding. We've seen how many guys get wide open and really can wind up and open up their arms and really rip that ball. So those are the 2 big factors there that have led OPC to get 5 unanswered here. And you can see it too. Sometimes in that defense you get a little tired, you get a little panicked, and you start running around and you forget your responsibilities as far as what you're supposed to do, especially if a player slides. You got to cover and rotate. And it's a tough skill to learn for D.
And it isn't, I've learned more and more watching lacrosse over these years, too. It isn't unusual to see big swings of momentum. You start to possess the ball a lot more, and pretty soon, the quarter's mostly over, and the Grace attackers probably feel like we haven't really had the ball much, and that's been the case.
That's a good point. I probably should mention that, too. They're not winning faceoffs this period. They did that first quarter. We both noticed that. And Chris Curis now for OPC is really starting to clamp down on the faceoffs and getting control of it.
So we'll get back into action here. Still an important stretch here before halftime. Got 3.5 minutes. If TG could get 1, maybe 2 even, really even this thing back up a little bit. Meanwhile, the guys in the orange and black and green are saying, you know what, instead we're going to just keep the pressure on and see if we can add a few more and really have a comfortable lead going into halftime.
Oh, you bet. They got a 4-goal lead now. Okay, work your offense. Possess the ball. Don't even let the Eagles have it. Just take it out of the game for them.
Lingasson pursued here, flips the pass over to Compton. He had to run it down, but does so. Compton cut off, spins back left, and now fires. Thomas making a stop there. Eagles get it out of there, and then shrugging off a little bit of a check there was Bertram. Ooh, and then Bertram delivers a high cross check.
Oh, they're going to call it a push with a change of possession. Okay.
Lingasson with it here. There's a look at that stop by Thomas.
Again, that shot a little far out, and Compton was pretty well covered. He didn't have too much of an open shot there.
Curis turned back. Nice catch of that one by Compton. Compton wheels free. His bouncing shot misses. It'll be Osseo-Park Center possession, though.
Well, Compton sure ain't afraid to shoot the ball, Jay. That's for doggone sure. Jeepers.
Love looking for some space here. Gets to the front and shooting it wide. Didn't really have a full step on the defender there and couldn't get his shoulder squared around to shoot that one the way he wanted to.
Yeah, that time OPC, nobody's really moving. Nobody's really getting into open spots without the ball. And it's not leaving a lot of options for the X-Man here. Let him draw somebody to him and then find the open man and get that shot.
Gosson fires and misses. And I would think that would be one thing that would concern, Coach Nelson and staff a little bit here is that, yes, they've put some goals together here in the second quarter, but they haven't generally come off of, really strong offense. It's been more one-on-one.
Yep. Or a mistake by the Eagles defense, leaving a defender wide open, or leaving an attack man wide open.
Here's Kiras getting a little screen, and he fires and scores. It wasn't a lot, but it was enough to get him space as Lingasson gave him a little bit of a pick there. And
he did.
And Kiras puts it away.
Kiras would like, too. He started on his right hand, and he went back to his left hand as they came through that pick as it came through. Did a nice job that way, and he probably isn't as good a shooter from his left hand, but here he goes right hand. See where he's at. Now, get that little bit of a pick, and then he switched to his left hand and brought it high-low again. Good switch over right here.
And really, in looking at it again, it was maybe an accidental screen as much as anything, but it still worked. It still does the job.
Well, Curious took the guy into him, so he figured it out. And, again, created enough space for himself. That's a good shot. He was about maybe 10 feet at the most out when he let that thing go. And it was a good play all the way around where a dodge and a pick worked.
Under a minute and a half to go now. It's been an all Osseo-Park Center second quarter as they now lead it 6-1. Compton gave it up there, and Bertram will head back the other way here for Grace.
Timeout. Good timeout called by Grace. We got about 1:08 left. Good. They got a possession. Now work it now. They need a goal right now. They've gone 6 unanswered right now. They need to get into their offense and probably set up a play. So they'll probably go to their leading scorer, or their leading guy, whoever that happens to be, and see if they can get. I would. Right now, Lewis seems to be the guy that I saw some really good moves for. I'd probably put it in his hands. Try to set up a pick for him to get him open, and he's got a good shot and get him within 12, 10 feet of the goal and let him rip one.
Eagles come back with another home game against Andover. They've got a kind of a stretch of home contests coming up here, and for Osseo-Park Center, they, as we said, they've got a pretty tough test coming up on Wednesday as they play Armstrong. That'll be at Park Center High School, and then they've got after that Lakeville South and Oka, both on the road. So Coach Nelson said, it doesn't get a whole lot easier after tonight, but they're playing a much stronger second quarter than what they did the first.
Well, and the last 2 games are against Centennial at Park Center, and then they go up to Champlin Park, which is just a hop, skip, and a jump up the road, and a good opportunity to get 2 more wins there. So, if they get some things worked out here and get their offense really flowing, maybe they'll have an opportunity to at least make a run at Armstrong, or South for that matter. Onoka Jay looks really good this year. Their only loss is to a very, very good Maple Grove team, so I don't know. It's going to take quite an effort to beat them. Oh, my gosh. What happened? Oh, they found an illegal stick on number 9.
So Totino-Grace, best laid plans go away there as they looked like they were going to have a chance to get something set up and try and get one late in the second quarter here. Instead, OPC will get possession. Here's Lingasson with it. Drops that pass over to Love. Back out top. Now down low with it. They come to Love, but he missed the net. It'll stay with Osseo-Park Center here. 43 and a half to go here in this first half.
You can see where the long stick there just interrupted Love's full swing at the net, and he only went halfway through, missing it by the front instead of pulling it through toward the net.
Lingasson drops that pass off. Oh, and that shot denied at close range there as Garrity had that shot go, it looked like maybe off the helmet of Mueller.
Someone's got a little ringing going on in their helmet right now.
Under 15 seconds to play in this second quarter. It's been all Osseo-Park Center, and they would love to put an exclamation point on a good quarter by putting one in late. Well, looks like they're not going to attempt another shot here at the end, so we come to halftime here at Jim Totino Field at Totino-Grace High School. Second quarter was all Osseo-Park Center. Our halftime score is OPC 6, Totino-Grace 1. We'll have first half highlights and then our second half of lacrosse on CCX Sports.
Maybe he's really focused.
Hey, Michael. Michael. Maybe he likes spinning the wheels.
Maybe he just loves trucks.
Maybe he's just being a boy.
Preoccupation with objects is one early sign of autism. Learn the others today. The sooner it's diagnosed, the better.
And welcome back here to Totino-Grace, a 6-1 lead for Osseo-Park Center at halftime, and in many ways was a tale of two quarters. Totino-Grace had a good first quarter, and but it only ended up with a 1-1 tie to show for it, and then Osseo-Park Center putting 5 on the board in that second quarter. As we look at our first half highlights here, Eagles possess the ball an awful lot early, and they get the first goal as Leo Lewis going left and puts that low shot away a little under 4 minutes in. Osseo-Park Center answering there as Lingassen converts the pass from Love, and they tied it up 1-1. Second quarter is all orange here, and Compton burying that goal for OPC to start the second quarter scoring. Then Lingassen turns and fires a rocket there, putting them up by a 3-1 count. And just a minute later, he was able to do it again as he puts the brakes on here, looking, and then gets just enough space to turn and rip one home. So his third goal of the game already there, and they were not done yet. They spaced the scoring out pretty much throughout the second quarter as well. As you see Compton getting the pass, he's at a tough angle, but no D between him and the goalie, and he's able to bury it. That one made it 5-1 OPC, and then Kuras gets in on the fun. He's been great on faceoffs, and then he's able to get a little screen and switch to the left hand and score it there for Osseo-Park Center. So they lead it by a 6-1 score. We'll see if Grace can kind of stem the tide, get the momentum back a little bit in the third, or if OPC is going to keep the train rolling. We'll be back here to Jim Totino Field at Totino-Grace High School. High school boys lacrosse on CCX Sports.
Well, Thomas, you've got prediabetes. But with more exercise and a change in diet, it can be reversed.
I've tried exercising. It just makes me hungry for bacon.
I love bacon, too. And who really likes to exercise?
Not me.
Me neither.
Nobody. So we're good?
What? Oh, you still have prediabetes. Big time.
And we get set for quarter number 3 here at Totino-Grace. A 6-1 lead for Osseo-Park Center. They got 5 straight goals in the second quarter and 6 straight total after Grace had taken a 1-goal lead to begin things. So Osseo-Park Center, not sure what we've got going here to start this third quarter.
Well, I guess Osseo-Park Center gets possession and starts second half. We don't have a face-off. We have a penalty on the Eagles.
Started to use more cutters here, Dan, and I wonder if that's kind of a conscious decision that we need to change things up a little bit.
Well, they got to get some movement, and you got to stop that. That just has got to stop. I mean,
and Thomas, the stop, then he had to work his way around traffic to get back into the net. Work it around quickly here with a man up, and that shot goes wide of the mark. You know, I was just thinking as you were talking about that, it's hard to say if it's an overconfidence in their ability to shoot the ball or lack of confidence in their ability to connect on enough passes to really put pressure on the D. They're looking like they're kind of pressing and taking the first halfway decent shot.
Yes, the only way you're going to get better at this.
Lingos and Barry's a long one. Well, there are exceptions to the rule there, right?
There are, definitely, no question about it.
Let's see, Barry's at 59 seconds in, his 4th of the night.
But here's my question. You look at their schedule here, as we said. They got Armstrong coming up, who's pretty good. Lakeville South is definitely pretty good. And Anoka in the top 10. To take a shot like this, that's not going in against any one of those 3 teams. It's just not going to happen. You're better off in this situation, especially with the lead you got, to move it around the offense and find some perimeter side attack coming in, or even from behind, see what they can draw and get a guy coming down the middle to open up and get a nice inside pass like the first goal they scored.
Yeah, and that's where you see some of the top 10 caliber teams and things. They have guys who are capable of just beating somebody with speed and moves, but that's not generally what they want to go for, because they know when you get in the toughest competition against the best teams, that's not going to work. And that's something all programs have to learn as they get better, both as a team and as individual players. That you're looking to use each other better, and I think that's something OPC is still working at.
Yeah, I mean, guys got to touch the ball to feel they're in the game. That's how you build the rhythm. You get in there and you move the ball around everybody, and then you set a play. So everybody knows where it's going, where they got to be. Move, do your spot, do your drill. If it isn't there, you back it out and you start over again. And sooner or later, you'll start seeing some dodge opportunities. You'll start seeing some opportunities in which long pole's good and can keep up with you, and which ones can't. And then you set pick plays or you set up dodges coming into that area of that particular person. So they're not allowing that to happen.
Oh, and there's a goal for Grace as Ryan Tigner really got into shooting position quickly there. He kind of surprised Nelson and surprised us by that quick, hard release there, and the Eagles get a much-needed goal.
Hey, well, he should have. This move coming in close. I mean, he just got enough room, not even close to getting the stick on the long stick, really working him, and he just moved it well, got his shoulder to block out the play without putting a word, and just ripped a left-handed shot into the net. Very nice play.
First goal the Eagles have had since just under 4 minutes into the first quarter, so they break the rhythm at least a little bit. It's still a large deficit at 7-2, but a very nice goal there for Tigner, and get them a little confidence going back for the Eagles after, again, if you're just joining us, they played a real nice first quarter. A team that's had a very difficult year, some blowout losses. They've had 1 win, and they look pretty solid in that first quarter. OPC, we still expected maybe that they were the favorite, and they did show that in the second quarter. But I think, you know, they haven't played probably as well as they would like overall, and there's a misfire on the way up.
No, they really haven't. There was a basic mistake there, too. They had a guy open and just, you know, overthrew it. And an error, turnover, and Grace comes right back in. And this is what I like. They're showing more discipline here by, you know, settling it down, you know, trying a few things, but, and then making a mistake like that. You know, you got to take your time with it, but at least they're slowing it down.
Colas got bumped just as he was going to try and make a pass, and it just slipped out and sails out of play. So a turnover gives it to Osseo-Park Center as Carter Compton will drop it back to his goalie there, Ben Peterson.
Now, there was as nice a clear as you'll ever see. Really nice play. And then same situation again. Waited a little too long to get rid of it. The D got a stick on his stick and passes over the head of the person intended to catch it. And Grace has got the ball back.
Love tried to keep it alive but couldn't do so, and the Eagles have it. Tina's carrying it here for Grace.
Oh.
Nice spin there, and he's got some space to work with. Tina's going to the front, fires, but it is stopped as Ben Peterson just held his ground there, and really the shot coming right to him.
Really nice move right here. Spinorama gets out of it with a double team coming. Makes a nice move, gets right down the guts, and really gets a heck of a shot off, but Peterson makes a nice save there for OPC. Yeah, the other thing they might want to try, too, is Osseo-Park Center's getting out real fairly easily. Maybe put some pressure on the goalie and the back line long sticks on that ride.
Griffin Garrity possessing here for OPC. They work it left side around to Anders Coombs.
Yep.
Love was knocked down.
He's going to be a cross-checker, a hit from behind with possession.
Love getting return pass, now steps to the middle. Love getting a little space, trying to fire that one, and it was denied, and now we'll get our call.
And D stepped in front of that shot before it got to it. Good play. Really good move here by Love. Stays with it and leans into it, and that stick comes into the legs and trips him up. Okay, now we'll see what OPC can do. This is a good opportunity now to work the man-up situation.
So they'll try and build on a 7-2 lead here. Shot fired, and Thomas making the stop there. And then he'll get the pass from Mueller. Thomas able to find Lewis.
And we're at even strength again. Lewis made a nice play there. Just a clean clear. He just got it out himself. Got a couple openings. He's quick, Jay. We've watched him move a couple times where he's gotten a nice opening or created an opening for himself.
Eagles will bring it back out top here. Schneider has some room up that left side. The D converges. Down he goes, but a flag flies. Get a push call there going against Curis.
It'll be a 30-second man-up advantage for the Eagles here. All right, now we'll see if they can continue, Jade, like we were talking about, to move the ball around, try and get another shot. They just got a goal. See if they can put another one on top of that.
OPC being aggressive here, and too aggressive as flags fly.
called a slash on that, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
Okay.
1 minute there, Acri. He kind of knew it.
Yeah.
he was already running toward the sideline.
I have big stick. I will wield it with might. Oh.
So good opportunity here for Grace as we hit the halfway point of the third quarter. They're down 5, but a good chance here.
No, they need to step inside the box here. They got the 2-man advantage here. Use it to your advantage. Okay, and I like that guy coming through the middle. That's good. And another guy coming through the middle.
Oh, and it's off the crossbar there on the shot by Lewis. They had everything they wanted, but it was about an inch too high and bangs off the top frame of the goal.
Boy, really nice play here by 22.
Schneider, yeah.
Or Kobe Tim.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're right.
Kobe Tim.
Yeah.
Boy, look at him. He's just said, I'm killing this penalty. Ain't no getting around it. And pretty soon they're going to get him released. And guess where they're going to be? They're going to be in the attack zone of the Grace Eagle. Oh, okay, they picked that up. Be patient now.
Garrity controlling it here for Osseo-Park Center. So a near miss for Totino-Grace, and then a nice clear by Tim and OPC. Curas with it here for Osseo-Park Center. Turns and drops the pass off. Try to put it out front, but well defended. Now it pops up in the air, and the Eagles are able to come up with possession. Here's Halverson.
Nice play. And you know what? Nice play by OPC. They tried to get her into the middle. The guy was open for a second, closed real fast on him, didn't quite get a handle on it. But, that's the kind of stuff they got to do, and they got to start getting that stuff clean. And that's a timing issue, too. Get the pass to him when he's open. Anticipate when he's going to have the opening.
Round to Campion, and he'll bring it back to the top here to Schneider. And that one caroming wildly. Campion gets it back. And Schneider trying to run it down. Yeah, didn't quite do it. Here comes Lingassen on the move here for Osseo-Park Center.
I like that. That was a good aggressive move by Lingassen. He just turned the tempo, made Totino-Grace come up and play some D real quick.
Comstock to the middle and bounces one up and over the top. Will be OPC ball as Garrity goes to retrieve another ball there from the back line, and contested pass, but it gets there. Love being pressured by Halverson.
Good play by Love. He pulled it back out once he tried a couple dodges, wasn't there.
Comstock bouncing it over the top. Didn't quite have the geometry figured on that one. He bounced it only a couple feet in front of himself there, and it went bouncing away. So they'll get it back.
Way over the net.
Garrity swings the pass out top. Comstock forced back.
Okay, move the ball, get it behind. I know. We'll see if we get some cutters coming through here, Jay. They were standing there watching.
Okay. Back out to Lingassen. Comstock spins away, gets to the front, but had it knocked loose as he tried to shoot it.
Good defense by Grace, just hold him off, holding Comstock off and getting possession and get it right back down the field again. Good, quick, aggressive play, but there was a nice play by Lingassen. Ooh.
Tina's taking a stick, and it looked like he got him up high there, but
There's a moment where you appreciate the lacrosse mask on your helmet. Wow.
That's for sure.
Full frontal. Man, oh man.
Officials are going to come together as all the flags fly. Here's another look at it here. And right,
Oh.
That had to hurt even with the mask.
Yeah, that part of the neck, I think, got it in between the helmet and the jersey.
A slash there against Daniel Tinas.
All right, this should be non-releasable for a minute, so we'll see. So give OPC an opportunity to build on their lead. They've been pretty much shut down this half pretty good, Jay, you know, considering how they came in after that second quarter.
Yeah, at halftime, you might have thought, you know, that they were going to start to kind of put this one away. That's what it sort of felt like, but the third quarter scoring has been the same as the first, 1 goal apiece. So Grace, for whatever reason, has been able to shut them down much better here in this third quarter than what they were able to in the second. Now, having said that, it's still a 5-goal deficit for them. So,
Well, now OPC was going to get the ball, and they were a man short in the game and got called for a delay game and lost possession. Now Grace has got it, and they can run off this penalty by keeping possession in the OPZ zone.
Lewis to the front. He fires and scores. Able to sneak that shot through. And so Totino-Grace back to within 7-3 now.
Nice left-handed shot by Lewis here, you know. He's got some potential here. He's done a real good job. He's been aggressive. He knows how to get himself some separation. And lets it run. Now watch what happens here. He switches to, comes across now. He's switched to his left hand and not afraid to run with it. Not afraid to take a shot. A little bit of screen there on the goalie and beats him clean. High-low shot. Nice play by Lewis.
Coach Nelson.
Coach Nelson talking about, I guess one of the coaches got in unsportsmanlike or something from the bench. And Coach Nelson trying to say he wasn't talking to you, he's talking to one of his players. And but the ref didn't see it that way, and guess what? Ref wins all the time.
Approaching a half minute to go in this third quarter, and Grace has battled their way back to within 4 now. Campion drops it out down low, and out front, Lewis will tuck it in for his third of the night. And the Eagles are right back in this one.
Really bad slide scenario for OPC. Did the right thing with the double team being a man up, but then they forgot to slide out in front of the net and get everybody covered out there. Should have been covered all the way, and Leo Lewis, that would be the hat trick, as we like to say. And, you know, he's been the one that's finding the net in the left and wide. Look at how wide open he is.
Only 26 seconds after the previous goal. Catches it in close, doesn't panic, doesn't rush it, just sees a little opening up top, and that's a tough one for Peterson, obviously, with a guy in that tight. Nice timing on the pass, too, from Campion. He didn't get rid of it too early to mess things up.
And Campion beat that double team, which was great. He came out of there, beat the double team, and he forced that long stick in front for OPC to make a commitment, and he got stuck halfway in between Lewis and Campion again, like you said, Jay. Nice timing on the pass.
Under 10 seconds here. We'll see if OPC can get one last decent attempt here and try a real long one, and it will not pay off, and the third quarter has come to an end. So quick turn of events there as Grace getting 3 goals in a row, 2 of them within about 25 seconds of each other. So 7-4 now. Osseo-Park Center still leading, but the lead's been trimmed to 3 here at the end of 3 from Totino-Grace High School here on CCX Sports.
adopted Bento in 2010 from a shelter. As it turns out, we have very similar personalities. And this cat makes me make art because he's always motivating me to take pictures of him, to draw pictures of him. He just is motivating artistically. It's just that simple. Well, he's my best friend, but a lot of people know him as Keyboard Cat.
Did you know kids who play outdoors have healthier lungs?
Totally. Did you know that boys that play with dolls make better husbands?
My son has lots of dolls.
But did you know terry cloth diapers breathe better?
I did.
It's totally true.
Oh, yeah.
Did you guys know statistically friendly kids have more friends?
Yeah.
That's obvious.
Did you know most people think they're using the right car seat for their kid, but they're not?
Parents who really know it all know for sure that their child is in the right seat. Visit safercar.gov/the-right-seat to make sure your child is protected.
The rain has returned, as you can see, looking up at the lights here at Totino-Grace's field here, and it's raining heavier, I think, now than it was even prior to the game. So our hopes to get this one through mainly unscathed are not going to hold true, it looks like, here tonight. But good game here. Maybe better than what we might have thought. They're looking at the team's records coming in. 7-4, Osseo-Park Center leads, but Grace has gotten the last 3 goals, and they very much have the momentum heading into this fourth quarter. We'll see if they can kind of make that continue.
Yeah, absolutely. They've done a good job. If they can start winning some faceoffs here, they could turn this game around really quick.
It will be Totino-Grace ball here.
You can see a little more energy there. Their midfield is really going after the ball and being very aggressive here, Jay. I think they're getting the feeling, man. They're getting the feeling they could have this one if they keep working hard.
Jones swinging it around here. Yeah, we've had some twists and turns here. As we said, Grace played a good first quarter. It was 1-1, and then Osseo-Park Center really dominated the second quarter. And at that point, I probably would have said it looks like they maybe might pull away to a somewhat of a comfortable win, but then things turned again in the third quarter. That shot sailing just wide of the mark there from Tigner.
I think the one thing that's got to make the Grace staff, coaching staff, really happy is that their kids have just been gritty. I mean, in that third quarter, they just willed it. They weren't in anything spectacular, but they took advantage of the times they had, and they played good defense. They forced some Osseo-Park Center into bad decisions.
Got an over and back there, and it will be OPC possession here. I think the fact that it started raining too, but also just how close the score got, I think as the fourth quarter started, it was like everybody said, okay, we know it's down to that final 12 minutes now. We're seeing kind of some added urgency for both teams here.
Well, here's the thing too. OPC's got a lead. They got a 3-goal lead. So every possession, don't do that. Now you just gave the possession back to Totino-Grace. Work it a little bit. Get the inside shot. Wear them down inside. Now, here they are. They got a situation where, that should be a penalty right there. Well, I guess not. They're not going to call it. But, don't get the ball up so quick. Run some time off the clock.
Lacrosse controlling it, and that's another thing that teams learn as they go, I think, too, and how to still be attacking, but be sure to use some time, spread the defense out, make them run around a little bit, and so that you get a good possession out of it. And obviously, again, the ultimate goal is to score at the end of it, but there's more to it than just trying to go right at the net and fire up take any quick shot you can get. Might have an illegal screen call there, I believe.
Yeah. Stick that up into the defender's face.
Be kind of interesting to see, too, I think, here, Dan, who this will really favor if the game does become faster pace as it seems to be early in this fourth quarter.
Well, right now, Jay, it's a question for unforced errors. Whoever does the least amount of unforced errors here is going to be in a good position.
And there is a turnover committed by Grace right there, and we'll see if OPC can take advantage.
You know, we were talking to Coach Nelson, too, about, you know, OPC, and they're young, you know, and then again, they're not consistent. They're not doing the small things that are important to win some games. They've lost some really close ones. And right now, being disciplined about, I mean, what was that all about? I mean, what are you trying to do there? Take the guy next to you and throw it to him. Take a 10, 15-foot pass and trying to go all the way over the top. And, you know, they're starting to give Totino some more opportunities, and they've cashed him in, and, you know, be careful. They might be coming up after you, and they certainly are making a push.
Thomas going to run this one up, and then he's unable to connect with that pass.
Unforced error.
Peterson grabbing it up here for Osseo-Park Center. And they're not able to connect with that pass. Nice job to get the ball back, though, for Hadala.
Good, aggressive D. Totino-Grace came out with a double team, really worked it hard, and got an opportunity of getting the ball pushed out of bounds, trapping a player on the sideline. Just did a great job of forcing the error.
Got a look there. The rain is definitely coming down. I don't want to say in sheets, but it's getting there. It's raining pretty good right now.
This is where you're glad you got a helmet on. Just feel it on your shoulders somewhat.
In terms of ball control, how much, if any, does this kind of rain affect them?
It does, because sometimes, you know, you're going to have to look up to get a ball, and you're going to get some rain in your face, in your eyes. Plus, the baskets now are going to get wet, and the ball's going to stick a little bit more. So you're going to have to put a little bit more into it when you make a pass or you make a shot in order for it to come out clean.
Eagles looking to tighten it up a little further. That shot denied. The rebound bounces out front. And great opportunity there, and he scores on the rebound as Campion able to gain control. He got a kind of a combination of fortunate bounce but good skill to be able to come up with it.
Yeah, he did. Defense just let it go way too much. I can see where Mr. Peters is not very happy right now. He's talking to his D about who's covering who here. How'd that guy get open in front like that? But again, it's just grit and working hard. You see the shot coming through there and hit the defender. That's why it bounced out so short. And then it came through easily. The Campion standing by himself. Nobody reacted. He was in the right position. He got the ball and bang, he put it away.
So a 7-5 game here.
Uh-oh.
On the move here, OPC looking to quickly counter. Flipped out front. Turnaround try and a goal. Caleb Love answers for OPC with a much-needed goal for them. Got two quick passes in close range, and Love turns and buries it.
Well, the sophomores had a lot of opportunities tonight. He finally buried one at a very critical moment. It was a nice play, good ball movement, found the right guy. Pass one, coming across. Pass two, he's by himself in front, and look at this play. There you go, goes down low. Comes around the defender, and the goalie had a tough time seeing it because it's being screened a little bit by the defender. So nice play by Love. That was an important goal.
Griffin Garrity getting a nice pass over to lead to that Love goal. So 8-5 now, Osseo-Park Center, as they get a goal here after 4 straight by Grace, going back to that third quarter.
And now, Jay, the faceoffs become very important. Become very, very important. OPC wants to get that ball to keep control and work some time off the clock. Totino-Grace, we need to attack and be aggressive. The more they can gain control, they can get inside. They've proven that their offense can move. And I think that the Grace coaches have got to be just tickled to death. They've done some nice things offensively, Jay. And legal procedure on our OPC. Ball comes over automatically to Grace.
So they don't need to win it. They get it via infraction there.
Yep.
Lewis being pursued here. Lewis cutting it to the middle, and he just missed the net. Looking far side there and almost hit it. He already has 3 goals tonight.
Well, I love the way the Eagles are beating the double team. I mean, they're dodging. They've done a very good job with good movement and switching hands and beating the OPC defenders even when a double team was coming.
Jones retreating out high to get a little space to work with here as he is bottled up by Comstock, but the flag will fly. Lewis comes up with it here for Grace. Lewis fires and he scores. Went up high over the top of Peterson, and Lewis continues to be an effective weapon for Grace.
That's 4 by him. He's really caught on here now. I'm wondering, though, when the penalty was called, did that ball hit the ground? Because if it did, well, look at the penalty here. And he's down. Okay, ball hit the ground with the flag going out. That should have been stopped right there. But Lewis made a nice play again, Jay, beating a double team, coming through and creating room for himself to get a shot and a goal.
So a 2-goal game again now as Eagles make it an 8-6 score. Scoring pace really breaking out again here. We've had 3 goals in about a minute. OPC winning that all-important face-off here. Curis will drop it over to Comstock.
Oh, my God, good. Ran into a triple team, and he got it out. Good for him.
Lingassen now to Curis. Back to Lingassen. Drops the pass back here to Garrity. Now Comstock. Comstock bouncing one wide of the net, but it'll stay with OPC. Lingassen controlling here. Turns and fires, and that one missed the target, but it'll stay with OPC.
Well, we're back to first quarter again. They're getting shots, Jay, but what are they not doing? They ain't hitting the net.
Caleb Love controlling here now for Osseo-Park Center. Gets to the front, and Thomas comes up with a big save right there.
Really nice save. Boy, he held his ground good, got his basket, spread his body out. Love made a couple good moves, but boy, I'll tell you what, Thomas stepped up when he needed him to.
Now his pass behind the intended target there, Campion. Back to scoop it there was Nathaniel Love. And now he gets control. Going to be Grace ball here, 4:14 to go. And a 2-goal deficit for the Eagles, but they have really battled back to be very much within striking distance.
Well, and Compton with a Ward there for OPC, just trying too hard to break the triple and double team, trying to look for a pass, get a pass off to your teammate, but we put a Ward on. Now they got an unforced turnover, and Grace is back in business again.
Tina swings the pass over. Now here's Lewis. Lewis has been dynamite tonight. Misses the net here, though. It will be Grace ball.
OPC's got to stand tall here now. Grace is kind of feeling it, Jay. They're feeling it.
Tina spins back left. They'll shovel that pass over. They bring it all the way around the horn here to Jones. Now Tigner. Good patience here by Grace, and obviously it'll be even better patience if it ends up in a goal, right?
Yeah, well, they just called for Leo now. Now Lewis has got it again. Oh, he's been dynamite.
And he hits the net again, and it's a 1-goal game.
He has been dynamite. They set up an ISO dodge play for Leo Lewis up top again. I think it's, what, his 5th goal here, Jay? As he comes through, he's just been on fire. So he gets it up top. Watch now. He's going to set up the dodge. He's coming off to the middle, and he's just going to turn the jets on. Bing, bang, boom. Here I go. And just winds up nicely, goes really high-low into the lower left corner. Just a really good shot.
Yeah, he's been accurate tonight, too. There's no doubt about it. And, boy, is it raining now. Ooh, it is really coming down. 8-7 lead for Osseo-Park Center, but Grace has fought back to within 1. Quite a contest here tonight in the rain. Wasn't really raining for most of the way until about the 4th quarter was beginning, and had a sprinkle or two here and there, and now it is much beyond a sprinkle.
Well, Curious not paying a whole lot of attention here for OPC, kind of jogging it up, and all of a sudden one of the attackmen from Totino-Grace comes up from behind and just knocks the ball out of his stick. And I think it's going to be Totino-Grace ball here because I think they called the timeout. And they're going to set up a play here, Jay, with 2 minutes and 46 seconds left.
The smart fans are the ones who brought the umbrellas with here tonight, that's for sure. And teams battling through toward the end of regulation here in a 1-goal game. The one big difference, too, obviously, is the grass fields are going to be affected by it, not only tonight, but it'll probably, can do a little bit of damage for the rest of the season as well. That's obviously one big selling point of the artificial turf fields is they pretty much are as is through a rainstorm. They drain so well.
Of course, now when we were down here, this field actually, in comparison to some of the grass fields you and I have seen, like at Champlain Park, it's in pretty good shape, really. Hasn't been too chewed up. Now, this last few minutes with this rain, it can get chewed up really fast, and frankly won't recover for the rest of the year unless we go out and do some real work on it. But it'll change the bounces here now and some skipping with a wet ball on wet turf. Oh, ought to be interesting when you get a shot bounced.
You can see Grace is fired up coming out of the huddle. They're feeling very much like they've got the momentum, but they need one more to even it up.
Well, we were talking to Coach earlier for Grace. It was, we don't have an offense really, not really in rhythm. We're not good at dodging. We're not moving around. And all of a sudden, Jay, that isn't what I've seen tonight. They've gotten into a good offense. They've started moving the ball around. They found a guy they can go to in Leo Lewis. They're counting on him, and he's come through tonight with, 5 goals, I believe.
Back in play here, OPC possessing. They'd like to use some time, but they, ultimately could use another goal yet, I think, too, here. Lingassen chase back. And that call will go Grace's way.
I think they called a ward on that, push the stick out of the way.
And Grace now will use a timeout.
Okay, OPC called the last one now, Grace. Oh, this is interesting. The turnover is the one thing OPC didn't need right now. That really, they just set the table for the Eagles, and we'll see what the Eagles come up with now. I got a feeling that number 9 is going to get the ball, Jay. I don't know. It just kind of strikes me that way.
Seems like a safe bet, at least the way they want it to happen for the Eagles. Leo Lewis has had a very strong night as 5 goals, 4 of them coming in, with in this quarter and the last minute of the third quarter. So he only had 1 goal till there was a minute to go in the third, and now he has 5. And hard to bet against him, maybe at least getting another, good opportunity at least.
Well, he's definitely feeling it. And I tell you what, now OPC, they got to get the fastest guy on Leo Lewis. And here's the deal. Lewis has been able to switch hands, so you can't count on him going to his right. He can go to his left. We've seen him score from the left side. So you need the quickest guy you got on defense to be put on him, knowing that he's probably going to try and dodge you, and just keep working him and pushing on him, and keep your feet moving on him. And they can't give him an opening. I mean, that's the safe bet. I'm pretty much sure that's who's going to get the ball, and OPC's got to figure that too. So we'll see who comes out and covers number 9.
So Grace possession here as they get set to restart play. Colas with it.
Number 9's on the sideline right now.
Down to Jones. And the ball lost. Oops, and then a slip on the wet field there. Jones will get it back, and they want another timeout, I believe. Yep, Totino-Grace going to use another timeout.
Yep, they could see the trouble coming. Their double team was coming. They were going to try and get him out of bounds and turnover, but boy, that hurt. I don't understand why Lewis wasn't in the game. Interesting. Or maybe they're going to try and sneak him in behind later on. Everything went low. Everybody turns their back, and they're not keeping an eye up top. So that might have caught OPC by surprise there. They caught a bit of a break because it was a bad pass that almost caused a turnover. Tense moment for OPC here. I think, Jay, I think you were right. You know, after that second quarter, they figured, okay, we got this thing in hand, and, you know, we've really got our offense chugging and rolling, no big deal. And all of a sudden, wham, they let up a little bit. And Totino-Grace, with a little grit and a little hard work, got themselves back into this game. Did a nice job of it, too. It would be a big win for the Eagles here. Oh, my gosh. It'd boost them big time.
Yeah, that's the thing with for them right now. They have to be encouraged by the comeback, but if it ends one goal short, it doesn't feel quite as good as what it might be if they at least could force overtime or you know, in fact, get a win.
Yeah. Well, if you're a coach, though, you can go into practice tomorrow. You got nothing but good things to say. You got nothing but good things to say. The things that have been the issues of the turnovers and bad passes stuff, that stuff is fixable. That's just practice. I mean, you just, come on, we're going to throw the ball around and we're not going to drop it and, you know, do things like that. And, you know, that would probably be the biggest complaint, but I think they've done a very good job and the coaches should be happy. All right, we'll see if they can get it done. Oh, guess who's back in the game?
Lewis possessing right now for Totino-Grace. Lewis getting to the front. He fires and he scores, and we are tied up. Lewis is third straight and is sixth in the game.
Oh, my gosh. Now, Leo, you watch him now. He's going to do that first time. He's going to get by the first guy just easily, flat foots him. But then he runs kind of into a little bit of a double team as he comes through, but he beats that too. Here we go. He gets set up. Knows exactly what he's going to do. He's going to go to his right side. Boom, boom, bang. He's by him. The double team comes, and he still beats it. He splits it and gets in tight. That's why you got to get the body on him. You know, in the OPC defense, you know, this is a physical game. You can put a check on, but, oh, boy, what a comeback by the Grace Eagles.
Curas winning that face-off. Trouble with the possession there. And I think we're going to get an Osseo-Park Center timeout now here as they try and set up. Eagles were looking for Lewis to do his magic again, and they're pretty excited when he did.
I think they're having fun. Jay. All right. This is almost turning into a basketball game now with all these timeouts in the last 2 minutes or so, but you know, good call by Coach Nelson. Now get them settled down, set up a play, get them in a situation where, you know, they're going to get an opportunity, and not from 30 feet out, get it inside. And they've been able to do that a few occasions if they rotate the ball. And they're going to have to do that. And they've got 3 guys that can put the ball in the net, no problem. So you're not isolating on one guy. And just make sure they keep possession and work for the last shot with about 10, 12 seconds left. And try to get the lead back here to get it out of an overtime situation. The one thing they can't do, turn the ball over.
And especially turn it over early.
Yes. Yeah. Because you know what's going to happen. There's going to be a timeout called immediately, and guess who's going to be set up to get the ball? All right. Boys are ready to go to war here.
A little over a minute and a half to play in regulation now. 8-8. Totino-Grace has battled back. and even things up. That guy doing most of the honors here as he scored the last 3 goals and 5 of the last 6 for the Eagles, Leo Lewis. But Osseo-Park Center with an opportunity here after they win that all-important face-off and got a chance to possess it and maybe take that lead back.
Okay, good. Pulls it out. All right, going to let him set up now. There we go.
They'll work it behind. Comstock trying to go out front. Lingassen comes up with it. Interchanges there with Kuras, but well defended. And now the shot fired, and they'll get it back. Comstock up with it. Under a minute now left. OPC trying to get a good opportunity late here. Kuras slips down and lost it. And the Eagles coming back the other way with it now. Colas.
Ooh.
Colas on the move through the rain.
Nice motor.
Drops the pass off. Here's a shot and a goal. Tigner puts Grace ahead as they're able to immediately capitalize on the turnover and come back and score the goal.
Nice play right here, yeah. And Tigner comes right across, goes right through toward the double team, keeps it split and just lets it rip with the left hand. And just a nice play. Yeah, I'd say I'd jump up and down a little bit. What a comeback, Jay. What a comeback.
And I think, I mean, obviously the result worked too, but I think it was a smart play for Grace to quickly attack there and not hold for one. I think at the end there they had the advantage. They had the numbers. So sometimes you have to just go ahead and play it, and that's what they did.
Yep. Did a nice job. And unselfish. Ball moved really good. That first pass going over to Tigner was great, and then he took it from there.
Here comes Kuras trying to answer back. It's knocked loose, and the Eagles come up with it and flicked on out of there by Halverson. They'll turn it over, but still probably not a bad idea just to get that out of there as we tick down toward the 10-second mark here. Let's see where OPC will start with it here. They're going to have to hurry. They've got time, but not extra time.
10, 9, 8,
Lingassen
7, 6,
with it here for OPC, being forced out. Now he's able to turn the corner. He's going to have to take a long one. It deflects wide, and Totino-Grace will pick up the win here. What a comeback for the Eagles, as it looked like they were at halftime, you know, kind of on the downside of things, but they come back with a very strong third quarter and then score the last 4 goals of the game. Lewis getting much of them, but Tigner getting the game winner for Totino-Grace, and you can see how pumped up those guys are getting their second win of the year.
Yeah. You know, you lose 5 games, only win 1. You're not real hopeful coming in, but here's the thing. What I liked about the whole deal is that they got the first goal, and then they got down, what was it, 7-1 at one point? And then just kept digging, and took some unforced errors from OPC, turned them into goals, and just took it 1 goal at a time, and all through hard work. They just dug. They played with grit, and it got them a game here. And God, hats off to them. They just did a marvelous job of fighting back, and good job of the Eagles.
Well, we hope you've enjoyed this one, and hats off to both teams and also to our crew for braving the elements here in that fourth quarter. The rain really came down. It's an exciting win here for Totino-Grace, who we said their second win of the season. Our final score here tonight from Jim Totino Field is Totino-Grace 9, Osseo-Park Center 8. For Dan Ficken and all of our crew, I'm Jay Wilcox. Good night from Fridley.